I know I touched on faith in my previous video, the one that I just recently uploaded, but I want to go over that again. Having faith, just as you have faith in your, let's say your car, when you turn it on, you have faith in it to take you from point A to point B without getting into any car accident, any incidents, or having faith in the flick of a light switch, turning on the lights in your house. When you flick the switch, you believe that that switch to turn on the light that you're trying to command. Having faith in the Lord and having faith that God will come through for you when you ask and you depend on Him is something that a lot of us tend to fall short of. Because when it comes to having faith, a lot of times we behave in a sense that when we have faith and we ask for something to be changed, we want it instantaneously. We want it to change right then and there because maybe it's something that is causing you pain, sorrow, grief. You want this agonizing feeling to be just taken up out of your being, or for you to no longer be suffering within these feelings. Faith is something that you build over time, and you may not have the strongest faith to begin with, but as you deepen your connection with God, your faith will surely grow alongside it. Faith is something that you must have even when you're at your lowest point. If you do not have faith, if you do not have belief, you will constantly dictate your life based off of the emotional state that you're in, what you believe to be your reality. Because you think, therefore you are. And a lot of times we think of situations that we're currently in, and we are in the midst of the storm at that time. Being in the midst of the storm, you are blinded. You do not know which direction you're going towards. You may be in a place where you feel like you're alone. You're engulfed in these waters, these rains that are coming down, pouring on you, burdening you. But just know you are not drowning in the sea alone. As long as you believe in God and have faith in God, and you put your conscious effort into knowing that this situation is something that you may not have control over anymore. You must give your trust and beliefs into God and being able to come into the situation and take over, take lead. Open your mind, open your heart, and open yourself into receiving the blessing that you are asking for. When it comes to having faith, prayer, and having that connection with God is also something that you must learn how to do for yourself. And it can definitely be challenging because we don't know at times how we should pray for certain situations, how we should ask for help, guidance, advice, any of these things. We think that a prayer should be, in a sense, like scripted in a perfectionist way, or way of understanding that this is what I'm asking for, this is what I want. How do I convey that message to a point where it's not in a sense of making a wish or treating God like a genie? Prayer is something that I have been constantly learning about, and it's definitely something that can be weird to do at first because this is something that you may not have ever practiced before, or you don't know how to start or where to start. But just opening your heart, truly pouring yourself into speaking, having your vulnerabilities completely on the forefront of yourself, and knowing that you will not be judged in a negative manner. You are not casted aside just because you are struggling with something that is burdening you, or maybe it's something that you're dealing with that is very hard to overcome. None of these things are of any of God's plans. He's not going to leave you just because you're doing something that He deemed unnecessary or something that you shouldn't be doing in life. A lot of these situations, we lose sight in the better side, the alternative side, the side that is quite literally saved or protected from God or by God. But just know, sorry, my light turned off. But just know, as long as you have your belief and faith and you have God in the center of your life, He is someone that you depend on, not on these worldly desires that you have. Nobody of this earth can save you the way that He can. And the people around you, they definitely can aid and help you, point you in the right direction, help you have a greater in-depth understanding of how to perform, how to do these things, how to ask and seek help, guidance, how to be more open and receptive of your blessings, because you don't want to block those either by being closed off and thinking that you're unsavable. You're somebody that is a lost cause, because in reality, you're not. Nobody is too far gone to turn their life over. And there's a lot of backlash whenever people have this contradiction of there's a certain point of no return. I myself, I believe that every person can choose to want to do good in their life. And I don't want to get into the fact of all these other bad things. That's a topic for another video, another story, another perspective of mine that I'm not partaking in this video in particular. But getting back to having faith and changing your ways and knowing that you can start this at any time, don't be afraid to just start. Just like how whenever you want to start something, like content creation is a prime example. Just like how you have this belief within yourself that you have a possibility to do it. You can maybe start in doing this, and you believe in yourself, and you're trying with all your efforts to output a message that is received by many people. It starts with something. It starts somewhere, and you just have to keep building on top of that. And over time, once you keep building on top of that, once you start practicing more, having more faith, having more belief, each and every time that you have these hardships or these setbacks that take you away from where you're headed in life, you will have that guidance and direction more and more as you deepen that connection. So just know at any time you can start, and don't doubt yourself for being in the place that you are, because you're exactly where you need to be right now. And once you find that to be true, once you realize that as your truth, you will start building and deepening that connection and knowing that you should have probably started this a while ago, but it's okay that you started now. And at the end of the day, these videos are just to help, aid, and bring light to situations that people are struggling with. I'm talking to you, the person behind the screen. It is up to you to finally take initiative, to take leadership of your life. I hope that this has helped you see that you are capable, and you very well can start today. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. Just like you've been promising yourself one day. Make this day one and start.